Hello, Emilie. How are you?
Hello, Hamilton, and hello, everyone.
Very happy, very glad to have you part of this conversation, Emilie. You know what we're trying to install here, which is basically understanding how digital transformation can help the world becoming a better place. So before we start, let me briefly introduce you to your audience. Emilie Sidiqian, you started your career in Accenture France as a consultant, leading energy, utilities, chemicals, and natural resources clients, and supporting them to transition from industrial model to service model. After nearly 2 decades successfully managing transformation projects powered by tech across the globe, he was appointed Senior Managing Director of the Technology Service Line of Accenture, covering France, Benelux, Morocco, and Mauritius. And today, as the head of Salesforce France, you are fully engaged to uphold Salesforce's core value of trust, customer success, innovation, equality, and you are deeply committed to helping Salesforce French customers accelerating their digital transformation to ensure long-term success in this all digital work from anywhere world. This is very much a pleasure, Emilie, to have you part of this conversation. We will start with the first question, a quite very simple question. Uh, Let us, let's say, know a little bit more about the updated business story of Salesforce, right? We know that Salesforce has been through a lot of transformation, has been pioneering also in a lot of aspects, what we call the, let's say, platform landscape and platform businesses for many customers. So what is now the updated type of business story that Salesforce has to, let's say, convey to the world?
So it is true, Hamilton, that sometimes it could be complex to understand what Salesforce is about, with such a fantastic story since 23 years. So in a nutshell, Salesforce is what? It's all about the cloud, number one in CRM, in data, in analytics. It's also around the cloud, how you transform the way to work today. And that's why we did this massive move with Slack, because today you can work in a world where you need to do synchron and asynchron. You need to deal with colleagues in the US or in Japan. And so you need to reinvent the way we work. And also it's about how we impact the society and how technology could be the right opportunity to create new jobs. So Salesforce is for sure, when we look at the front office of any type of companies, the best way to connect with customers. So you have prospects, you need to convert them into a client, you have contract, you have data, you want to improve the customer satisfaction, you need to deal with the service management. And Salesforce is all about that, to ease the way you will interact and do hyper-personalization to your customers, and to give one source of truth when it comes around data, to secure the fact that you can really use technology to sustain your business model.
Related to that, let us know a little bit more about how Salesforce today is very much driving this new type of way of serving the greater interest of society. And I just want to precise that this is something that we've seen a lot of companies trying to, let's say, find their way in addressing both their business aspect and their business objectives, profit, revenue, and also having the ability to impact the society for good. What about Salesforce? How Salesforce is driving this new way in installing and engaging in a business way, while also making sure that you impact the society sustainably?
That's a very good point. And this is not new for the company, because since the very beginning, the concept was how to create value with values. And so we have like a fantastic program called the 1-1-1, 1% of the equity, 1% of the technology, and 1% of the time of our employees are given for the society. And so by having, just this clear rule, every year, it means that we don't forget each time to say, yes, we need to perform our business and to do well with our clients, but we need also to take care of what is happening around us and also in our ecosystem. And it is through this program that we perform it. And if I give you, some KPIs, 1% of equity, it means that as of today, it's $500 million. that has been given, which means that it's not, like small money. 1% of the technology, it means that we have Salesforce.org. And actually, if I take the case of France, it's 1,500 NGOs that benefit of our technology, which is at the same level, it's really the same technology that we have, for our big clients. So it's not like, another version. No, it's exactly the same product, but not at the same price at all, because like this, they can also benefit from the technology to increase their own impact in the society. And 1% of the time of the employees, it's more than 60,000 hours of the French employee, for instance, that is fully paid for them to take care of doing involvement in NGOs, of doing mentoring, of taking care of how to train people in tech. And they choose actually their NGO. They use this time with their own feeling and their own values. And I think it's a fantastic framework to show that it is tangible. It's not only, ESG report. It's something that is quite concrete, real, on the ground.
So as far as I understand, this is very much embedded, right, in the, let's say, operating model of the company from the very beginning. So very interesting. I guess we can have some, let's say, lessons learned that you may share around what it takes, right, to put, let's say, such operating model to success, right? Let us maybe know related to the different, I would say, stakeholders, right, that are involved in these operating models. You talked about those NGOs that benefits from the platforms, for example. I guess that it means that the way to manage customers, those third parties, including NGOs, I guess all those different parties and stakeholders becoming part of a kind of a broader ecosystem of Salesforce requires to manage that ecosystem in a kind of a different way that you may manage any kind of a traditional companies. But let us know what it takes to manage such ecosystems along the way to, let's say, have result and impact.
Yes, you're right. And we love also to define ourselves not as a single company, but as an ecosystem, as you mentioned, because we do take care a lot around our clients. So clients, is our first focus, as you mentioned in our values. It's all about customer success, and the success of our clients make also our success. The success of our partners make our success. The success of the students learning around technology or people reskilling around technology will make also our success. So our offices, are quite open, and everybody, can come and meet us. We have also a fantastic training platform, which is called Trailhead. And we open this training platform not only for our employees, but for our ecosystem. It's free. You can go on trailhead.com and learn about our technology and find a job around the Salesforce economy. And this is exactly the mindset that we have, is to say we need to take care of our employees and our company, but we also need to take care of our ecosystem to be successful together, and we need to win as a team, if I may say. And this DNA is for sure to make business, but also to secure the fact that in the way we are making the business, we share the same values. And so we are an ecosystem of shared values. And if I give you some examples, when a client wants to work with us, we are very clear about who we are, about our values, and to say, okay, you're going to work with us. And what we offer you also is to come with some diverse talents that are certified around Salesforce. And you're looking also for jobs and for talent in your company. And we want also you, to open a bit the door of more diversified profiles. That's the way we want to make business, is to make sure that we have the same vision of what a company could bring to the society.
So we clearly, let's say, can imagine the impact that, let's say, this approach can have in society. So very, very interesting.
So Hamilton, if I may, it means that with the 111, we have employees that, of course, serve the business, serve our client, but they are also involved in NGO. And so when they come back on the Monday, they have a different mindset, and they carry also a kind of responsibility. It's carried by the top management, because launching a program like the 111, it means that it is a CEO topic. And then, it's a topic of all of us, but it's also, from the top. If I take also the way I have the freedom to perform the business in France, I have a head of impact. So it's not a foundation separate from the business. And she is able, to work closely with the business to say, okay, what is the type of program that we want to develop with L'Oréal, with NG, or maybe tomorrow, Hamilton with Thales, to secure the fact that, yes, we use the technology. Yes, we need to secure the fact that we do value realization, that we have an impact on your EBITDA for your clients in terms of NPS, but also in the way to create a center of excellence, because, it's a key topic for all our customers, is where to find the talents. And they develop teams specialized around Salesforce. They also need, to find talents, and we're helping them to say in type of program, we're going to help you to train, we're going to help you to source. But what we want is that you open the door, that we can welcome also new people in the technology field.
Great. A good transition to the question that I have in mind since a few seconds, right? Which is how Salesforce is maybe, contributing to bridge that gap, that famous digital divide, right? We've seen that, in many parts of society, the, let's say, digital knowledge and digital proficiency is not something that is, let's say, equally distributed, right? And so we have some part of the world and also some part of our society, where children, young people, women, etc., are, let's say, a part of that, let's say, transformation, and have not or do not have maybe all the, let's say, means to understand their opportunity, their, let's say, chances to, I would say, develop themselves and let's say, engage and address some kind of jobs, especially in tech. So this is a kind of a stake that we want to tackle there, and also at company level, there is a kind of an opportunity, I guess, for big companies to tackle some of the challenges there. So, what is the Salesforce contribution to that and to bridge that divide that really exists, between people related to digital?
So first, we serve, all type of companies in terms of segment. So we serve big companies, and that's the example, that the fact that they want to create, center of excellence. But you also have in the territories, small companies, small business. And I can tell you that the shortage of talent is for all of them. There's not one single conversation with CEOs today where you don't speak about, how to find the right talent to perform your business model. And especially in tech, if I take the case of Salesforce, we expect, to have 200,000 people in the ecosystem by 2026 in France, which is quite massive. And I can tell you that today we still have, 4,000 job offer open in Pôle emploi, for instance. So it's a big issue, not only for us, for our partners, for our clients. And when you look at this, what we try to do is, to invest. And so we give before receiving, to say, okay, we need to invest in our ecosystem. We need to have like a talent factory. We need to ask our employees also to do mentoring. That's why, we have Marie Petit-Queneau in France to take care of the impact that we can have in the society, not only in Paris, but also in the territories. When you look at the way we partner with the schools, it's quite also critical to secure the fact that it's not only, after 18 years old, but we speak also about technology at the very early stage. And today we have a program based on 5 big pillars: the students. So it's 5,000 students in France that we are helping to understand what is technology about and to work concretely about use cases. It's about reskilling, and we work also with our partners and with NGOs, and I can give you an example with Les Décodeuses. It is dedicated for female between 25 and 50 years old. You train them. It's about reskilling during 2 years' time, and at the end of this cursus of 2 years, they have a diploma around technology, and they have also a job. And we secure the fact that they really have, a contract in the end, and they are not alone to find something. The third pillar is around the refugee technology, which is a key topic. And you have also talents here. We partner with NGO for the sourcing, but we secure that they have the right information, that we can also tailor the cursus in the way of learning. So we do a lot of gamification on Trailhead to democratize how to learn about technology. The fourth pillar is social reinsertion. And the last one is about the drop-off, because it's also, what we see, especially outside of the big cities. And that's why we have a dedicated program to take care of young people that they don't have, a diploma. And we need also to help them to come back to a regular system. And we do a big partnership with the Chemin d'Avenir, for instance. So this is, the way we want to solve with our ecosystem is to take care of the sourcing, to take care of the training, to take care of the hiring, and to ask also our partners and our clients to share those values. What does it mean? It means that in the way to perform the business model, yes, we do sign contracts, but it means that they take also the commitment to fuel their needs in terms of talent with this platform and this talent factory.
I guess this is also something that changed a little bit the way you manage the team and the type of leadership, right, that perform very well within the organization in Salesforce. What is, let's say, the type of leadership or the, let's say, leadership model that is, let's say, fitting this type of way of working and these operating models, managing an ecosystem like this?
First, I will say that it's about trust and transparency. To really share about the consistency, what does it mean in the daily life when you have such values, and to explain why it is important for us, but also for our ecosystem. The second point, I think, is to be honest on the fact that you never win alone. It's about winning as a team. And what is a team is not only, the employees of the company, but it is the ecosystem, and everybody has a place in this ecosystem. And maybe I would say also in the way to lead, to be quite authentic and to secure the fact that it's a bit about, seamless single to say, I am myself, but with others, part of a group. It's about, being together. I think it is key in the way to lead the teams and in the way to lead the ecosystem.
Of course, I guess that, this type of, let's say, challenges, managing ecosystem, etc., comes also with some, maybe, pitfalls sometimes, some kind of difficulties, right, to overcome. So do you have in mind, few challenges that, this type of organization may have to overcome, right, to continue to impact positively a society?
Well, if you take, at the highest level, of course, when you spend like, $500 million on that kind of one model, the market could react, in a in a strange way. So I think it's, it requires also to really be convinced about that. If you take also at the very local level, when you speak about diversity, when you speak about launching program like 1,000 female in tech, you can have, people that say, oh, what are you talking about this topic? Why do you want to put quota for the recruitment? Why do you want to have 40% female leaders by 2027? Why do you want to have 50% of by 2030? And to be honest, today we are not bad. So if I take the case of the country I manage, we are at 32% as a whole, where the average in the tech industry is at 29%, and we continue to push on that kind of topic. Why? Because we do believe that it's true innovation. Why? Because we do believe that it is a business also related topic, and that thinking, in a different way, bringing innovation, it's for all. It's not only, in the product roadmap, it's in the way you perform, the value realization for our client, in the way you drive the project with our partners, and it requires to have diverse talents around the table. And by doing so, you do well with your clients and you do good with the society. And I think that at the end of the day, you can have, doubts, but for now, I didn't see, strong difficulty to convince also our ecosystem about that. If I take, the program of 1,000 female intake in 2 years, in our country, for instance, we have nearly 50 companies and partners that sign the commitment with us. And it means that it could work when it is properly explained and when you show, yes, the value in terms of financial KPIs, but also what does it mean, in terms of values, attractivity for your employees, attractivity in terms of a company, and also because you have it, in your body. So you want to do something. This summer, I was in San Francisco. And I was quite shocked, to be honest, to see, the Waymo cars in the street with all the homeless people in the streets. It's like, it's crazy. You have so much innovation on one side, and you have so much, people in the street, homeless, without having the chance, to develop themselves. And so, of course, we have a responsibility for that. And it's not only in San Francisco, it's everywhere in the world. And I think that, the pace of technology is completely amazing. And we have a big acceleration. The change of the culture, for sure, is not at the same pace. But also, it's not about, finding talents on the jobs. It's also, for our children to secure the fact that they will adapt to this new society that we are creating.
I cannot agree more. So, Emilie, my last but not least question for you will be related to the kind of advice that you, let's say, wants to share to leaders to find out their way in order to establish such a, organization, managing an ecosystem, having the right impact, both in terms of, let's say, top line, bottom line, but also driving, let's say, good in society. What will be your, we'll say, advice? Another way to ask the same question will be to say, in another life, right? Just imagine that you may, let's say, run another business, right? What is, let's say, the step forward for moving in that direction, impacting the world financially, but also socially?
I think maybe the first point is the deep listening, to secure the fact that it's not only about, Salesforce, for instance, model, but you have also other models across the globe. And so sharing about how everybody is performing. The second point is that it's not a short-term topic. It takes time. It takes a lot of energy to secure the fact that the path is quite long, but also, to do it step by step and putting milestone to show tangible results along the way. And maybe the last point, it's about the fact that it should be something real, should be something authentic, because you really want to do something, not a report that you want to publish. It should change the way you do it internally inside your company and also externally, because this is where you're going, to have like a right vertical for everyone.
Thank you very much, Emilie, for this message. Thank you very much for all the overview that you shared with us regarding how digital transformation can help the world becoming a better place. I think that Salesforce is showing great example based on all the different illustrations that you shared. Looking forward to see what's next. Thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Hamilton.